Have you ever heard the story in the Bible where two people ran a 10K?
What?
And what does that have to do with those magic eye puzzles? Let's talk about it. Hey, I'm Jim. I'm a real life pastor and I'm an amateur runner. And let's start with the whole magic eye thing. Remember these? These? Yeah, you've seen these before. Did you have a big poster on your wall and you'd stare at it all the time and pull back and suddenly...
If you stare at these things long enough, you're supposed to see some kind of hidden three-dimensional picture.
Oh yeah, look, it's a sailboat.
You saw it too, damn it! It's actually called an autostereogram, and the technology was developed in the 1970s, took until the 1990s for magic eye to become a phenomenon. And I think what's most fascinating about an autostereogram is it's not so much what you're looking at, but it's how you're looking at. That's the real thing that allows something that's been there the whole time to suddenly pop off the page. And that's what we need to keep in mind when we're looking at this story about the 10K in the Bible. Now, before it was a 10-mile run, it was a 10-mile walk. Two people are walking from Jerusalem to a village called Emmaus, which is 7 miles away. Okay, a little bit more than a 10K, but stick with me. These two friends weren't feeling so good. They were a little bit depressed, walking kind of slow, because a few days earlier, the person they thought was going to revolutionize the whole system and change the world, well, he was killed. His name is Jesus. Spoiler alert. So it's Sunday. They're going on a long walk, not feeling great, and suddenly a stranger joins them and says, "Hey, can I walk with you guys?" "Sure." "What are you guys talking about? Don't you know the things that have happened? This guy Jesus was killed. We thought he was the one to change everything, but I guess not." And then the stranger, who's not really a stranger, says, "Actually, let me help you see the story from a different point of view." And he starts talking all about the Hebrew scriptures and what this Messiah, this Christ, the one anointed by God, is really called to do. They finish their just over a 10K walk. They get to Emmaus. The two friends are like, "This is where we're staying." And the stranger's like, "I gotta keep going." And the friends are like, No, come hang out with us. Let's have dinner together." So the stranger, again, not a stranger, goes with the friends. They have a meal, and in the breaking of the bread, they recognize him. Now, breaking of the bread here is code for the meal that Jesus just shared with his closest friends a few days earlier on Thursday. We call it communion or the Last Supper, the Lord's Supper, Mass, Eucharist, lots of good words for it. And it's in that moment of this ordinary meal with bread being broken and thanks being given to God that these two friends recognize this stranger as more than a stranger. It's not a stranger. It's Jesus. Wait, I thought Jesus died a couple days ago. What is Jesus doing walking a 10K from Jerusalem to Emmaus? And then suddenly Jesus is gone. Just in the moment they recognize him, he vanishes. And the two friends, they have another 10K. This time they're running. And they run back from Emmaus to Jerusalem to let all the other friends know what just happened. Woo! That'll get you running. Now, did this story actually happen? I don't know. That's not the point. James Dominic Crossan says that Emmaus probably didn't happen, but Emmaus still happens. Ooh, sit with that one for a minute. When I read this story, I see two people who could only see their depression, could only see despair. And suddenly, in this moment that brought them out of despair, the breaking of the bread, giving thanks to God, they saw this stranger as more than a stranger, as something divine. Also, can we just pause and recognize how to get that shot of me running down that hill, I had to set up the camera, run up the hill, run down the hill, talk to the camera. Oh, this whole Sermon on the Run thing is not easy. But back to the story. The point of this is that it's not so much about what you're looking at. Is it a stranger? Is it the actual physically resurrected Jesus? The point is, how are you looking at it? It's not what you see, it's how you see, which is exactly what I said moments ago about those magic eye pictures. Do you see the connection yet? You'll find what you're looking for. There's something called selective attention, where the more you start looking for something, the more you'll see it everywhere. Not that it suddenly shows up, but that your brain is now primed to notice it. Here, let's try it out. Close your eyes. I'm gonna keep mine open because I'm running. And say the word red 10 times. Red, 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 red. Open your eyes. I'm guessing you noticed something red. It was there all along, but now your brain is just focused on it in a new way. That's, I think, something we can learn from a story like this. You'll find what you're looking for. So, what are you looking for? what are you even looking at? If you're only looking at headlines and stories and breaking news about rage and fear, well, then it's no wonder you're angry and afraid all the time. But if we start looking for love and goodness and hope and justice, well, we might just start seeing it everywhere. It's not that the shit suddenly vanishes, but it's that we notice the pops of life and love and color everywhere. And then we can focus on cultivating that, bringing that to life. You are what you eat. Which one are you going to bring to life in the world? The rage and the fear? We've seen a lot of that lately. Or the love and the hope and the compassion and empathy and the creativity and the goodness. I think we need more of that one. In a world filled with grief and despair, what does it mean to see everything through resurrection-tinted lenses? Or really, maybe the question is just, what do we do with resurrection? Now, there's one more story I want to tell you. This is about the wrong Jake. Someone was Venmoing their roommate Jake their share of the rent, only when they went to type in the name, they just didn't look too close, and they gave the money to the wrong Jake. $1,000. Suddenly, someone else named Jake was $1,000 richer. When the roommate Jake was like, yo, where's the rent? The friend was like, oh, I paid the wrong Jake. They sent a message, hey, I meant to send this to my roommate Jake. I sent it to you instead. Could you send it back? Now, the wrong Jake responds, sorry, I already spent it. I had no money in my account, and I needed food for my kids, diapers, some essentials to make sure we all live. The person who gave the money to the wrong Jake is like, oh. And here's what they texted back. No problem. Don't worry about it. Glad you have food and clothes for your family. That's it. That's it. They figured they could get by pinching a little more to make their rent. The wrong Jake had nothing left to pinch. But that's not where the story ends. The wrong Jake, years later, did not shake this moment. The time when a random, unknown stranger beamed $1,000 into their bank account and it made an impact of resurrection in that moment. What do you do with resurrection? Well, the wrong Jake decided he is going to do everything he can to ensure that anyone else in his situation gets what they need too. He made it his point to give away whatever he could to people in need and to encourage others to do the same. Suddenly there's this whole system from the wrong Jake where people have their needs met, all because one accident of resurrection led to a moment of hope in the midst of despair. So what do you do with resurrection? You share it, you spread it, you run the 10K back from Emmaus to Jerusalem to tell your friends what you encountered so they can have that encounter too. You'll find what you're looking for. You start looking at the world through resurrection-tinted lenses and you notice resurrection everywhere and you embody resurrection to bring it to life for others. So I've got 2 questions for you. First, what are you looking for? Like literally looking for on your screen, on the news? What are the sources you're taking in? And how does that impact what you're putting out? And second, when you find resurrection, what are you going to do with it? Who are you going to share it with? How will you embody new life and hope in the midst of grief and despair? Okay, more next week. That's all for this one. Talk to you next time.